नमस्ते। हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। Myself Dr. Gaurav Gupta, Assistant Professor, Department of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology, Faculty of Homeopathic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. Today we are going to continue our previous session, thermal injuries. Today we'll discuss clinical classification of burns. One is superficial burn, when less than full thickness of skin is involved, and second is deep burn, when full thickness of the skin is involved. Effects of burn. The effects depends on the degree of heat. The effects are severe if the heat applied is very great. Also depends on the duration of exposure. If the exposure duration is long, then the symptoms are more severe and more worse. Next is the extent of the surface. The estimation of the surface area of the body involved is usually worked out by the rule of 9 given by Wallace. 9% for the head and neck, 9% for each upper limb, 9% for the front of each lower limb, 9% for the back of each lower limb, 9% for the front of chest, 9% for the back of chest, 9% for the front of abdomen, and 9% of the for the back of abdomen. On compilation, it forms 99% of the body. The remaining 1% is for the external genitalia. Palmar surface of the patient's hand is about 1% of the body surface area. Involvement of 50% of the body surface will prove fatal even when the burns are only of the first degree. The next effects depends on the site. Burns of the head and neck, trunk, or the anterior abdominal wall are more dangerous. The effect of each is also important. Children are more susceptible while the old people are less. Women are more susceptible than the male. Local effects of the thermal injury include vascular thrombosis and tissue necrosis, increased evaporation of water from burn surface, and local heat loss. Causes of death. In case of burn, the causes can be primary shock due to pain or secondary shock due to fluid loss from the burn surface or smoke inhalation apart from carbon monoxide or toxemia or sepsis or biochemical disturbances, for example, hypokalemia or acute renal failure due to lower nephrosis or gastrointestinal disturbances such as acute septic ulceration, dilatation of the stomach, hemorrhages into intestine. Or gastrointestinal disturbances or edema of glottis and pulmonary edema due to inhalation of smoke containing carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide or accidents occurring in an attempt to escape from a burning house or by injuries due to falling of masonry, timber or other structures on the body or pyemia, gangrene, tetanus or fat embolism or pulmonary embolism from thrombosis of veins of the leg due to the tissue damage and immobility or multisystem failure. Or death may occur years after recovery from malignant transformation of a burn scar, also known as Majolin's ulcer. Postmortem appearance. External appearance. On external appearance, clothes may be damaged. Cotton fabric ignites easier and burns faster than other types of fabrics. Nylon, polyester, and wool produces less severe burns. Close-fitting garments tends to be safer than long, loose garments. The clothes should be removed and examined for the presence of smell of kerosene, petrol, Heat rigors may be observed in the muscle. It is difficult to determine the time of death as body temperature, postmortem hypostasis, and rigor mortis cannot be assessed. Decomposition is accelerated with burns limited to the body surface but greatly reduced in a severely burned body. Hair is signed or completely burned. In lesser degree of burns, ends are bulbous at interval. Portion of the body where clothing is tight, for example under the belt, shoes, brassiere, or buttoned collar, are often comparatively unaffected. The use of flammable liquids such as kerosene or petrol often results in patchy charring of various severity. That is, while some areas are charred deeply, other areas are burned less severely. Dry leather, like burnt skin, may also reveal the presence of residual accelerants. The face is swollen and distorted. The tongue protrudes and may be burnt due to the contraction of the tissue of the neck and face. Froth may appear at the mouth and nose due to pulmonary edema caused by heat irritation of the air passages and lungs, and heart failure due to the asphyxiating effect of carboxyhemoglobin. It indicates that the disease was breathing while the fire was in progress. In the hands, the skin detaches as gloves due to deposition of fluid between the layer of the skin, including the fingernails. Blisters may be present either in the main burn or as islands beyond the periphery. The whole of the burn area may form one large blister or be a confluence of blisters. Pugilistic attitude or boxing, fencing, or defense attitude. This posture is attained when body is exposed to great heat. The legs are flexed at the hips and knees. The arms are flexed at elbows and wrists and held out in front of the body. Head slightly extended. All fingers are hooked like claws. Contraction of the paraspinal muscles often causes a marked opisthotonus in an attitude commonly adopted by boxers. This stiffening is due to the coagulation of proteins of the muscles and dehydration, which causes contraction. The flexor muscles being bulkier than extensor contracts more due to which joints of all limbs are flexed. It occurs whether the person was alive or dead at the time of burning. In internal postmortem findings, heat hematoma occurs when the head has been exposed to intense heat sufficient to cause charring of the skull. It consists of a soft tribal clot of light chocolate color and may be pink if the blood contains CO, carbon monoxide. The clot has a honeycomb appearance due to the bubbles of steam produced by heat. The adjacent vein shows hardening and discoloration from the heat. Thermal fractures of the skull. The skull fractures occur most commonly in areas where the skull has been severely burned. There are two types of thermal fractures of the skull. One is intracranial increase of steam pressure causes separation of ununited sutures, or an intracranial explosion occurs producing fracture with gapping defects and widely evaporated bony margins. The fracture occurs due to rapid drying of the bone with contraction and only involves the outer table of the skull. Skull fractures are usually seen on either side of the skull above the temple. Sometimes they may be bilateral. Heat fractures usually do not involve the suture of the skull, even in young person with ununited sutures. Death from suffocation. If death has occurred from suffocation, estimated blackish coal particles are seen in the nose, mouth, larynx, trachea, bronchi, esophagus, and stomach, and blood is cherry red. The presence of carbon particles in the terminal bronchioles on histological examination is absolute proof of life during the fire. The presence of carbon particles and an elevated carbo- carbon monoxide saturation together are another absolute proof that the victim was alive when the fire occurred. Visceral. Hemo concentration is present and frequently there is some tissue edema and excess of fluid in the serous cavity. The brain is usually shrunken, firm, and yellow to light brown due to cooking. The pleura are congested or inflamed. The lungs are usually congested and show marked edema. Macrophages may contain pigment particles. Necrosis of the alveolar epithelium and necrotic debris is present as a membrane in cases of shock, lungs, or adult respiratory distress syndrome. Sign of infection and inflammation may be present in delayed death. Facial hemorrhage are usually found in the pleura, pericardium, and endocardium. The heart is usually filled with clotted blood and may show interstitial edema and pigmentation of myocardial fibers. There may be inflammation and ulceration of pairs spaces and solitary glands in the intestines. The large bowel may also be involved. The spleen is enlarged and softened with the edema and necrosis of lymphoid germinal center. The liver may show cloudy swelling or necrosis. Jaundice may occur. Kidney may show cloudy swelling, capillary chromatopsia, infarction. Renal obstruction leads to microcirculatory insufficiency and renal ischemia. Stress ulcer or curling ulcer are produced in the duodenum, commonly in the first part. This session is powered by digital version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University. Hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.